Hello, welcome to part 2 of the BTS Discography video by Boracity magazine. I hope you enjoy it.
Since Japan is the second biggest music market in the world, it's common for Korean artists to release Japanese versions of their songs. So BTS released 2 Japanese EPs.
Wait a second, what's going on?
Soulscape. Since Japan is the second biggest music market in the
So, for the earlier section, I don't know why the closed caption was not showing, so I think I fixed it. Now we get to see the closed caption.
world, it's common for Korean artists to release Japanese versions of their songs. So BTS released 2 Japanese EPs that come with 2 music videos. These albums are the Japanese counterpart of the School trilogy. The first EP is No More Dream, and it has the Japanese versions of No More Dream, Attack on Bangtan, and Like. Part of their Korean discography, BTS released So For More on SoundCloud, an adaptation of Pro eras like Water. BTS will later release another original song titled So For More. So
is it Japanese, this one? Okay, I will have to say that I admit I missed out on a lot of Japanese version of their song or the song that's produced just for the Japanese market. So I don't know about these songs. I'm so bad.
to differentiate them, just remember that this 2014 track is an unofficial SoundCloud song. BTS then releases their second Japanese music video, Boy in Love, part of the Boy in Love EP with a Japanese
and I
version.
know that they have a Boy in Love in Chinese too. I don't know whether she's gonna talk about it. I think that is the one and only one Chinese version of their songs. I think I heard a snippet of it, and I will have to say, boys, your Chinese pronunciation was not great. Anyway, let's get back to this.
Japanese music video, Boy in Love, part of the Boy in Love EP with the Japanese versions of Just One Day and M.O. This is the end of the School trilogy. We then enter the Dark and Wild era, which has their most ambitious project at the time, their first studio album, Dark and Wild. This era is still mainly hip-hop, but it has a rockier sound and more rebellious lyrics composed by the rap line. To promote this project, they released an album preview on SoundCloud.
I wonder if she's gonna talk about Expensive Girl. And the other one that I think RM and Jin, I forgot what's the name, Jin was like mowing in the background. I don't know if she's gonna talk about those.
Which remixes
to
promote hip, but it has a rockier sound and more rebellious lyrics composed by the rap line. To promote this project, they released an album preview on SoundCloud, which remixes all of the album's songs. The intro What Am I to You, performed by RM, describes the relationship where the other person only cares about themselves. This theme is continued in the title track and lead single Danger. I call this era transition into adulthood because it expresses all those disobedient, angry thoughts and feelings young people have before entering adulthood. As BTS puts it in the follow-up single War of Hormones, it's the internal fight of one's own hormones and the negative effects they have on young people.
Yes, when we hear War of Hormone, we'll always be reminded of that controversy, the scandal at the time. Seriously, even with the so-called incorrect translation, compared to the many Western songs that we hear, it's nothing. And compared to a lot of other rap songs, actually, even in Korea, it was nothing. I don't know. People are just so over the edge sometimes. The people need to just calm down. Stop being overly sensitive.
The first classic hip-hop song of the album is Hip Hop File, also known as Hip Hop Lover, in which they thank 13 hip-hop artists for being the inspiration for their music. Going back to the album's theme, BTS talks about a relationship's inevitable end in Let Me Know. These feelings intensify in a rainy day described in the jazz-centric Rain. BTS Cypher Part 3 Killer is probably the most popular cypher out of the four. Like the title shows, this cypher is more aggressive and shows shows more determination and confidence than ever. The next track is an instrumental interlude with Jungkook's voice that serves as a transition to the pop, R&B, and alternative hip-hop songs. Could You Turn Off Your Cell Phone is pretty self-explanatory. It tells the consequences of the social media and technology obsession. Embarrassed or Blanket Kick, 24/7 Heaven, and Look Here are all pop R&B, and they are about falling in love and deciding to pursue that love. Second Grade expresses their feelings of being in the second year of their music careers. An alternative song title is So For More, a wordplay for sophomore, which is also the title for one of their unofficial SoundCloud songs I talked about before. The outro, Do You Think It Makes Sense, is performed by the vocal line, which closes the album's love story.
Okay. As I mentioned, I don't listen to the album in entirety for the previous albums. So I just want to check that is anything that I have not heard from this album. Thankfully, I've heard them all. Okay.
Story in a sudden heartbreak. As always, they released a Japanese EP with Danger as the title track, an EDM remix of Attack on Bangtan, and the Japanese version of Miss Right. They also promoted an alternative hip-hop version of Danger titled Danger Mo Blue Mix, which features the Vietnamese-Australian singer Tan, who adds verses in English. Their next big project is Wake Up, BTS's first Japanese studio album. The intro is a hip-hop track that sets the tone for the album, and the first original Japanese song, The Stars, is, in my opinion, the Japanese version of Path, not because they sound similar, but because they have the same hopeful view on ambitions and dreams. Next, they compiled new and old Japanese versions of their songs and released Like Part 2, which is their
Like Part 2 is Line. I remember, I think I did a reaction of the Japanese version of Like earlier in my YouTube career. Yeah. Or was it the other one? I don't know.
Second original Japanese song. This is, of course, a continuation of Like, about romance and social media. The last two tracks, Wake Up and Outro, are R&B tracks that reaffirm the album's theme of taking action toward following one's dream. Before releasing the last promoted project of the Dark and Wild era, Jimin and Jungkook released Christmas Day on SoundCloud, and RM collaborated with the American rapper Warren G for the alternative hip-hop song PDD. To end the Dark and Wild promotions, BTS released a Taiwanese special edition of their Korean studio album.
I don't know if it's gonna consider Taiwanese. It's just like, I think people in Taiwan, of course, the main language is Mandarin, which is the same as Chinese. We do speak with different accent, it is just what it is, right? And there's a Taiwanese, which more like Hokkien-ese, that is considered second primary language in Taiwan, which I do not speak. So
Promotions, BTS released a Taiwanese special edition of their Korean studio album with an exclusive Chinese version of Boy in Love.
as I said, their Chinese pronunciation was not that great. So you will not be able to understand what they're saying without the lyrics. That's how it was. It is for me.
In 2015, RM, who at the time performed under the name Rap Monster, released his first solo mixtape on SoundCloud titled RM.
Yes.
The 11 tracks have aggressive, fast-paced raps with different samples.
So again, for their mixtapes, I have not delved into their mixtape in its entirety, so I'll listen to a song here and there for all three rappers, right? So there's no, favoritism over one or another. Well, kind of a little bit over Yoongi, he's my rap bias. But anyway, so just so you know that I'm going to see the list to see if there's how many of them I have not heard before. I'm so bad.
was adaptations of American hip-hop songs. The three promoted songs with music videos are the title track and the first single, Awakening, the second single, Do You, and the third single, Joke.
I'm not rock, I'm not funk, I'm not R&B or hip-hop.
This mixtape tells his response to all the criticism he received for joining an idol group. RM points out that it's not wrong or disingenuous to make meaningful music designed for people to actually listen to. In the middle of the promotion of his mixtape, RM also participated in the song and music video of Buku Buku with other rappers. BTS's next era is the Youth Trilogy from 2015, in which they began telling a fictional storyline fans can put together by reading their album notes, HYYH books, the Save Me webtoon, and music videos part of the Bangtan universe, or BU. This trilogy also shows a new
And I need to say thank you to all the people out there, YouTuber out there who's putting all the theories together, storylines, especially XLS, right? She has a very detailed, well, a number of very detailed videos on her interpretation, at least I think, of the storyline. And she, you know, it's like without SLX and many others, I would not put two and two together. No. Old brain. Okay.
vulnerable side from the BTS members. The first part is the EP, a new vulnerable side from the BTS members. The first part is the EP, The Most Beautiful Moment in Life, Part 1.
This animation, where can I find this animation? I don't think I've seen this animation. What have I missed?
The BTS members. The first part is the EP, The Most Beautiful Moment in Life, Part 1, also known as Hwa Yang Yong Hwa Part 1, shortened HYYH Part 1. It starts with an intro performed by Suga and visualized in the comeback trailer. The album's title track is I Need You, their first promoted pop lead single, which helped them gain their first music show win. The intro, I Need You, Hold Me Tight, and Skid Expectation explore the dichotomy between angst and optimism, love and hate, and anxiety and fearlessness experienced at the end of being a teenager and the beginning of adulthood. The follow-up single, Dope, is BTS's first dance EDM song, and it represents an adrenaline rush of the celebration of youth. Many attribute this music video at attracting the first significant wave of international fans.
I would have to say this is one of the earlier songs I heard that dragged me into the rabbit hole. When I first saw this video, first thing attracted me was Jimin's red hair. And I was like, whoa, my gosh, he looks so good. Then Dr. Jin kind of grabbed me. So, you know, Dr. Jin.
Boys with Fun is a catchy dance pop song that makes something clear. This fun version of them is still them. They are still tackling social issues. They are still impacting listeners with their music, but they are having fun while doing so. This is the first official song in which the vocal line joins the rap line in the composition process. Converse High is the album's love song, and it uses references to shoe brands. Because Converse is a copyrighted brand, the song's name is Lover's High for Korean TV shows. The R&B tracks are Moving On by all the members and Outro Love Is Not Over by the vocal line. These tracks talk about the feeling of nostalgia after the end of an era, the end of living in the place where they first met, lived together and practiced together. The first album is the shock of moving on, the shock of entering adulthood. These new sounds are the consequence of opening up, of being more vulnerable. This doesn't mean that they stop being them. RM continues collaborating with his rapper friends in hard-hitting hip-hop songs, but BTS are different to how they started. This is why they re-record We Are BPB as We Are Bulletproof Part 1 with the 7 BTS members we know today.
So this is the remix. I think this is the version I've heard before, maybe not the original version of the 3.
For the Japanese youth era, they first released an original Japanese pop ballad titled For You, and Japanese versions of World of Hormone and Let Me Know. This year, BTS starts participating in OST projects, which are original soundtracks for series or movies. The first member to release an OST is RM for Marvel's Fantastic Four movie. RM also features in the alternative hip-hop ballad You, and Jungkook features in the ballad One Dream, One Korea. Then BTS releases their second EP, part of Jungkook features in the ballad One Dream, One Korea. Then BTS releases their second EP, part of the Youth trilogy, The Most Beautiful Moment in Life, Part 2. If Part 1 is about the shock of entering adulthood, Part 2 is about the reaction, the scary, lonely, frustrated reaction. The rap line introduces the theme of fighting against life's obstacles in Intro Nevermind. The obstacles are explained in the pop rock title track, Run, which shows helplessness and longing for a connection that doesn't exist.
Okay, so I love all the songs, right? But I will have to say that they might probably do not hit me as like they hit others, because when thinking back, going from adolescent to adulthood, it was a very smooth journey for me. So I did not have the feeling that they portray in their song, the loneliness, the vulnerability, all that very touchy feeling kind of thing. I don't recall experiencing that, so I know that I might be one of the few lucky ones. And I can see why that their songs, especially for that era, hit so... The impact are so great for many younger listeners who are entering adulthood, that if they're experiencing the emotional roller coasters, that they will find a connection with these songs. For me, it's just purely I like the beauty of the lyrics, and they talk about feelings. And the melody to me is they're very good. It's just that the emotional connection, maybe not that much for me when it comes to, me growing up, right?
The next two songs use animal metaphors and R&B instrumentals to express fear. Butterfly is about the fear of losing someone, and Wailing 52 uses the lonely wail to express the fear of being alone. As the BTS members reflect about their lives, they start reflecting about societies. They sing about their identities with their hometowns in Ma City, and the inequality and unjust privileges of inherited wealth in Silver Spoon. With these songs, they start a new trend in their music: strong social commentary in happy, fun songs.
Yes.
These are pop songs or funky.
Yeah, those are the songs that if you just listening to their songs and the beat and the melody is happy and fun, at least for us, the international listeners who don't understand Korean, it's like, yeah, we're driving with them until we dive into the lyrics. And we're like, holy crap, right?
Hip hop songs.
Hi, Mark Barden at Sandy Hook Promise here. When the gunman shot his way...
Skit One Night in a Strange City is a conversation about the recent success. The vulnerable shift they had in The Most Beautiful Moment in Life Part 1 made them tour in faraway cities like the capital of Chile, the strange city where they recorded this skit. Autumn Leaves, also known as Dead Leaves, is about a person's effort to stay the way they are when they are demanded to mature. In a way, it's about clinging to childhood and youth. This conflicting relationship one has...
I'm still clinging to childhood and youth. I'm 55. I'm still clinging to it. It will never go away. That we want to stay young forever. We want to be as active or whatever. So just like we want to be young forever. That's how it is.
With oneself and others is unstable and addictive, and is predicted to collapse in House of Cards.
지금 내게 눈앞에 너를 뺀 모든 게 지독히 캄캄한 어둠이지.
The second Japanese youth album is I Need You, with Japanese versions of I Need You, Dope, and Boys with Fun. On the side, J-Hope releases his first solo composition,
Yes,
One
One
Verse on
Verse.
SoundCloud. And BTS makes their first 3 songs for commercials, an original RM composition for a coffee brand, a remake of Run for the shoe brand Puma, and a collaboration with the rapper Jessie for SK Telecom.
보내줄게 데이터 바로 대구정성 웨이터
The third Japanese EP has
Jessie.
Japanese versions of Run, Butterfly, and a new pop song titled Good Day about their strong, lifelong friendship. The third part of the Korean Youth Trilogy is their first compilation album, The Most Beautiful Moment in Life, Young Forever. This album has 2 CDs. The first CD has songs from Part 1 and Part 2, an alternative ballad version of Butterfly with only the vocal line, and 2 EDM singles.
That one, the prologue mix is so good. So I thought it was a prologue. It's actually one of the song, I guess, in this Young Forever version. That song, Butterfly by itself, is so really beautiful. The prologue mix, taking it up a notch, is just so great.
Which show 2 responses to the same struggle. Fire, a fun and catchy song showing a new level of BTS's choreography
Oh,
about
yeah.
carelessly
Oh,
living
yeah.
a travel life. And Save Me, a tropical house electro-pop song about escaping that travel life celebrated in Fire.
손을 내밀어줘 save me
If Born Singer is BTS's first sentimental anthem, Epilogue Young Forever is the second one. This ballad is the trilogy's conclusion, a positive view about the struggles, fears, and dreams of youth. The second CD compiles more songs from Part 1 and Part 2 and has the full-length edition of the Part 2's outro, House of Cards, and Part 1's outro, Love Is Not Over, now with the 7 members instead of only the vocal line. There's also an urban remix and an electro-pop remix of I Need You, a ballad version and a dance rock version of Run, and an R&B version of Butterfly. So there's a song for every listener. Before
Yes.
starting their next era, BTS continues making music for commercials. This time, they release, promote, and perform a choreographed dance of family song with the group G-Friend for a school uniform commercial. For Festa, RM and Jungkook released the pop song I Know, and BTS releases an acoustic version of Young Forever on SoundCloud. In August of 2016, Suga releases his first solo mixtape, August D, on SoundCloud, under the name August D.
뺏기는 걸 뺏기는 놈을 좁아 내가 후배들 선배들 뺏기는 놈 팽이를 내가 뺏기는 그를 뺏기는 역사를 바닥에 새기는 몸도
The entire album is, of course, hip-hop with a hardcore rap style with underground influences, and it has August D as the first single and Give It To Me as the
Oh, I
second
love
single.
this song.
Both of these songs are his response to the South Korean underground hip-hop scene accusing him of selling out for debuting in BTS. The intro is called DT Suga, showing that his new name stands for DT, which is his hometown Daegu town, and Suga, his name in BTS, all backwards. August D is Suga's alter ego. This is what he explains to his brother in the recorded conversation part of Skit. 724148 is about his success and beginnings. 140503 at Dawn has vulnerable lyrics over a minimal beat. The last has a stronger beat with lyrics about depression and self-hatred. Tony Montana is about ambition and envy. An interlude dream reality works as an instrumental transition for So Far Away, a song about dreams. To end the Youth trilogy, BTS releases the Japanese studio album Youth, which starts
Each trilogy includes so many different albums and different unofficial releases and all the wonderful stuff. They've been so busy. Busy boys. And thank them for that because they brought us so many great songs.
with the alternative hip-hop track Introduction Youth and compiles old and new Japanese versions
Which one
of
is it? Youth trilogy, right? So where are we? Youth. Okay.
the Youth trilogy. The new original Japanese song is Wishing on a Star, a happy hip-hop pop
Okay.
song about the future and hope. Only weeks after the end of the youth era, BTS starts the iconic Wings era. These songs will become the first projects recognized by major American award shows, giving BTS their first American award show attendance, their first American red carpet, and their first American award. So what exactly was this era about? The main project is the studio album Wings, BTS's first concept album about temptation and growth. To promote this unique concept album based in the coming-of-age novel Damien, BTS released 7 solo short films part of the Bangtan universe that represent the 7 solo songs that will be part of the album. This is the first time each of the 7 members had a solo song on a BTS album. The album's comeback trailer and intro track also follow the pattern from the previous full albums. RM did the intro for Dark and Wild, Suga did the intro for The Most Beautiful Moment in Life, so this time J-Hope did the intro for Wings, with Intro Boy Meets Evil, a dark hip-hop song which explains the story of the album, a young man encountering evil as he grows up. Once this man discovers greed, ambition, and lust, he explains this intoxication in the main single Blood, Sweat and Tears.
Jimmy!
The solo songs show a unique genre for each member, and of course, each member participated in the composition process of their songs. The solos start with Jungkook's Begin, a dance pop song in which he thanks the BTS members for bringing him out of his shell. In this song, he also opens up about his weaknesses. Jimin's solo is Life, an orchestral pop song in which he shows the inner fight between his inner self and the persona the world knows. B's solo is Stigma, a neo-soul song about struggling with identity. Suga's solo song is an alternative hip-hop song about his first love, the piano he learned to play during his childhood. RM's solo is a reflection on self-love and acceptance. This is a hint of BTS's next trilogy. J-Hope's solo is Mama, a pop song influenced by gospel music in which he explores singing as well as his usual rapping. In this song, J-Hope thanks his mother for supporting him as he followed his dreams. This song connects with the album's concept by relating it to Damien's mother, Eva. Jin's solo is Awake, a ballad about the obstacles towards reaching one's dreams and inspirations. The next 2 songs are subunit songs. Lost is an electro-pop song performed by the vocal line, which basically combines the themes of all the solo songs. Lost is about feeling stuck, lost, or confused in life. BTS Cypher 4 is the rap line's last cipher, which works as both a response to negative comments and a proclamation of self-love and confidence. This is the beginning of the hip-hop songs. Like I mentioned before, Am I Wrong is the song with a strong social commentary disguised in a happy, colorful beat. It's a hip-hop song, but it has elements from country music, and it has direct criticism against South Korean politicians. 21st Century Girls is also a happy song about the double standards women face in society. 2-3 is also about society and life, but it has a more positive view. A celebration of this positive conclusion is the dance pop song Interlude Wings. But the Wings era doesn't end here. Before releasing the next Wings project, BTS makes a song for SK Telecom commercial. Suga and J-Hope start performing a Japanese trot duet titled Otsukare, which will later be performed by the 7 members.
So that I've seen this picture before somewhere. I didn't know what it was. Now I know.
Jin releases a Christmas version of his solo song Awake. B and Jin release It's Definitely You for the Korean drama Hwarang, where V is an actor. And RM releases an unofficial solo song titled Always on SoundCloud. The second project part of Wings is You Never Walk Alone, released in 2017.